This video is not intended to promote violence, but to create a dialogue around a dark event in Toronto's history. All information is public record. Viewer discretion is advised. Toronto is a vibrant city known to be a melting pot of different cultures, cuisines, and lifestyles. From festivals like Pride and Carabana to rooftop or patio lunches with your people or getting fly and hitting the latest jam or fete. Along with the good vibes, the city has also experienced dark times. In the summer of 2012, Toronto was the center of headlines documenting the unspeakable. Several shots rang out in a busy food court, leaving people shot, killed, and a city left shaken. Today on Toronto True Crime, we will be exploring the case of Christopher Husbands and his involvement in the Eaton Centre shooting and his shocking decision to turn himself in. Christopher Husbands was a resident of Toronto's Regent Park, situated in downtown Toronto. Regent Park was a public housing community that was built in the 1940s. Residents were faced with various social-economic barriers including poverty, addiction, a high crime rate, and social isolation. In 2005, the City of Toronto began their Regent Park revitalization plan. The plan would transform the neighborhood into a mixed-income community with accessibility to transit and an influx of social and economic opportunities. Many feared this plan was the blueprint to gentrify the area. Christopher Husbands grew up in a pressure cooker of systematic marginalization that flows throughout the public housing projects in Toronto. But one incident in particular pushed Christopher Husbands over the edge and would ultimately impact the tragic shooting at Eaton Centre. Christopher Husbands received a text from his childhood friend, Nixon Nirmalendran, asking to borrow money and to come check him. Christopher Husbands went to check him and was ambushed by men as he stepped into the door, hurling accusations of Christopher Husbands being a rat. Nixon Nirmalendran was caught up in legal troubles stemming from selling narcotics from his home and his home being robbed. Nixon believed Christopher Husbands to be the source of his troubles. Christopher Husbands was bound and stabbed several times by his once childhood friend and associates. He was able to escape the carnage in time to spare his life. He exited the apartment and ran for his life and collapsed in the street. He received medical care for his physical injuries and chose not to cooperate with the authorities, but the psychological trauma proved much harder to repair. This event will forever alter how Christopher Husbands lived his life and the weight of PTSD. On June 2, 2012, Christopher Husband and his then-girlfriend entered the busy Eaton Centre food court to get something to eat. While at the popular eatery, Husbands glances out into the sea of patrons and sees his tormentors, those responsible for his stabbing 3 months prior. The group catches Husband's glare of disdain and yells, "What's up?" Now, if you are from Toronto and you hear, "What's up?" and the person says it in their chest, oh, it's about to be a ting. Heightened by fear and trauma, Husbands reaches for his firearm and discharges his weapon in the direction of his sworn enemies. The popular eatery erupts in chaos. Food and drinks are everywhere. People are trampling over each other to get out of the line of fire. People are injured, shot, panicked and paralyzed in fear. As the faint sting of gunfire settles in his ear and the gun smoke settles, Husbands run to try to make sense of what just happened. Husbands ends up at his girlfriend's house to seek comfort, help and maybe asylum. Instead, he is met by his panic-stricken girlfriend who bombarded him with questions and the possible consequences he will face. Scared, frustrated, and feeling alone, Husbands leaves, drowns himself in liquid courage and decides to take responsibility for his actions. Husbands stuns the entire Toronto community by turning himself in to the Toronto police. After weeks of arguments and deliberations, the jury reached a verdict: guilty. Despite Husbands' claims of self-defense, the court concluded that his actions were unjustified under the circumstances. The decision sparked outrage among some who believed Husbands acted in genuine fear, while others saw it as a clear case of justice being served. This case highlights the complexities of self-defense laws and the fine line between protecting oneself and committing a crime. It also raises questions about how justice is determined in high-stakes situations like these. What do you think? Was justice served, or does this case reveal more flaws in an outdated and racist legal system? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more thought-provoking stories.